everyone for joining us, and I will call on our whoever's our interpreter could possibly introduce themselves, and also get CCACC a representative to introduce themselves, and then from there we'll go through the flyer that we have in front of us.
好，大家好，欢迎大家参加今天晚上的这个Montgomery County 蒙郡的小型企业公共卫生紧急金补助计划。那这个讲座是由 County 这个企业联系办公室主办主讲，然后由美金华人中心作为 host 邀请大家来参加。那美金华人中心一直在报道关于这个新冠病毒的一些资源和一些补助的情况。那我们非常有幸的请到美金华人中心的Executive Director 会长李志祥先生，还有副会长张丽芳女士请他们开场讲几句话。
Welcome everybody. My name is Xishan Li. I'm the Executive Director of CCACC, and we are happy to work with the Montgomery County to host this event. And I think that this is very important, especially at this time for most of the small business. And we have a special hotline in relate to all those assistance. Please give us a call if you need any help.
稍微翻译一下，会长就是欢迎大家来参加这个讲座。然后，如果大家听完讲座以后有具体的问题的话，我们美金华人中心有一个纾困项目的专线，我们有专门的一个小组在追踪各种纾困项目的情况。如果大家有兴趣的话，可以打我们的热线电话。
Okay, well, my name is Daniel Karoma. I'm the Business Liaison Officer here in Montgomery County.
所以今天的主讲人是 Daniel， 他是蒙郡的这个社区企业的社区联系的办公室的负责人，今天会主讲这个讲座。
And I would like to thank everyone who joined us today, and especially thank CCACC for the support they've given the county government for us to not only design the program but also implement the program, here in Montgomery County.
欢迎大家参加这个讲座，也非常感谢美金华人中心协助我们能在这一个平台跟华语的居民来推广这个信息。
And the program is called the Montgomery County Public Health Emergency Grant Program.
这个项目的名字是蒙郡公共卫生紧急贷款项目。
And I want everyone to know that this is the site. I just highlighted it, and it's a public site, so anyone who wants to go to the site directly can go there.
大家看到屏幕上的这个网址是实际上的一个申请的网址，任何人，这是一个公共的网址，任何人都可以到这上面去取得信息和进行申请。
So the government have set up $20 million to help our non-profit and for-profit businesses.
所以这个项目就是专门为非牟利机构或者是小企业设立的一个纾困的项目。
And a non-profit or for-profit business could get up to $75,000 if they have a revenue loss in the month of March.
所以任何的非牟利的机构或者是小企业，如果他在3月份的时候经营的时候因为新冠的关系遭受到损失的话，他们都可以进行申请。
But I also want to highlight that because of the demand, we're closing the application on Saturday. So anyone who has not applied yet, if you are a nonprofit, if you are a business, if you are an independent contractor, somebody who is a sole proprietor can also apply between now and Saturday.
所以跟大家讲一个紧急的情况，就是这个这个计划，这个资金补助的计划一开始以后就是非常受欢迎，所以资金很快就会用完。那这个申请会在这个礼拜六4月25号的5点会关闭，所以任何人如果有这个需要的话，包括小企业，包括 non-profit， 还有就是你如果是自己独立的一个经营者，都欢迎你去申请。
We've also provided additional information that I just highlighted that people can go there for additional resources that are available either at the state or the federal level.
所以刚才 Daniel highlight 就是指出来有别的这个申请的这些项目，那有兴趣的话可以到这些地方，这些有可能是 county 或者是马里兰州的一些解困计划的一个资源，大家可以去看一下。
So for the program, the eligibility criteria is that you must have seen 50% or greater loss in revenue in the month of March.
所以申请蒙郡的这个纾困项目的一个资格要求，就是你必须在3月份的时候有那个财政的损失，是因为新冠的关系有这个财政方面的损失。
And then also your principal place of business has to be in Montgomery County.
所以你主要的经营的项目应该是在蒙郡。
Or more than 50% of your employees working in Montgomery County.
或者是你的雇员有50%是工作的地点在蒙郡。
Or more than 50% of the business gross sales in Montgomery County.
或者你的那个营业额有50%以上是在蒙郡发生的。
And the businesses and nonprofits that are eligible are those who have 100 or fewer employees.
或者是你的企业雇员少过100个或者100个以下。
And so now I'm going to, in terms of what are the financial documents that they need to provide in order for us to see the demonstrated loss of revenue in March.
所以Daniel 将要跟大家讲一下你需要提供的那个财政的这些资料是什么。这些资料会显示你在3月份的这个经营的损失。
So for businesses, we need 2 years of tax returns, so either 2019 and 2018 or 2018 and 2017 taxes.
如果是你有经营企业的话，你需要提供2年的这个财政报表，可以是2019年加2018年，或者是2018年加2017年。
And for nonprofits, we need your 990s, 2018, 2017, or 2019, 2018.
非牟利机构就要提供你的990 2019的990 2018的990，或者是2018 2017的990报表。
If you are an independent contractor or sole proprietor, we need 2 years of your Schedule C. So either 2019, 2018 or 2018, 2017 Schedule C.
如果你是独立营业人，那我们就需要你的Schedule C，就是你个人税的 Schedule C 这2份报表，也是2019年加2018年，或者是2018年加2017年两年的这个报表。
In addition to those historic financial documents, for 2 years, we need just your monthly, just the month of March. You can provide a P&L statement for the month of March.
所以除了刚才讲到的以往的那个报税经历，他们还需要3月份你的财政报表。
And so once you gather the documents, then you can go down to right here and then click apply to apply for the program.
你的资料准备齐了以后，你就可以按这个第3项的 apply 去申请。
And so that's basically the highlights of the program. And with that being said, I'll open it up. If there's any question, please tell them to put it on the chat box, and then you will either read them for us, and we'll be able to answer those questions.
所以基本上这个申请的流程就是非常简单。那现在Daniel就会可以开始解答大家的问题。如果你有问题的话，可以在旁边的这个 chat box 打字，把你的问题中文、英文都可以，我们可以送给Daniel，让他来回答。
And I have some of my colleagues also who are on the line. I believe. Let me see. Yi, I just want to thank Yi Shen. I think he's the liaison, the Asian liaison for the county executive. I want to thank him for all the help he's been giving me.
非常感谢沈怡先生一直在幕后帮忙牵线就是为我们准备这些为亚裔的居民提供很多的信息Daniel 想就是特别的感谢他。
And I also want to thank Caroline Chen, who is also on the county council side, she's been very helpful as well to me.
所以我们也要感谢 Caroline Chen， 她是 County Council， 就是郡议员的那个辅助，所以她在背后也是做了很多事情，所以也在这里特意感谢。
And now I'm ready to answer questions.
所以大家有问题的话，可以把问题打在这个 chat box 里面，我们就可以提问。中文和英文都没有问题。
Okay. So if there's any question in the chat box, can you please read that in read that in English, so I can answer it in English, and then you can interpret it back into.
Okay. So do we know how many applications we received so far?
Yes. So far we've received over 6,200 applications.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working fast for applications to be reviewed. But we've also approved applications, and some of the nonprofits and businesses will start getting funding tomorrow and throughout next week.
所以现在盟军已经收到6000多个的申请，那他们正在很紧密的去审核，然后希望明天就可以把部分的那个款项拨出。So there's a question asking if they've already put in an application, how long will that take to process?
Well, that's a good question. So we have just recently doubled the reviewers because of the volume that we receive. And therefore, if you have not received any feedback yet, it's either there's a reviewer that's basically going through your application as we speak. And if there's anything missing, the reviewer will send you an email. And also, people need to be aware that the only method by which we're contacting applicants is through email. So they should be checking their emails. And then once you get those documents back in, then the application goes back into processing. So right now, as we're looking at because this program started last week, as we're looking right now, it's going as fast as possible for you to hear from us, either for additional information or for approval.
对，所以他刚才的回答就是说，如果你make sure 你所有的资料都准备齐了送进去，要不然的话，他们还要用 email 来回信，就是问你所需要的补充的资料，那这样的那个程序就会慢一些。他们就是上个礼拜开始，应该礼拜4开始接的这个申请，那现在已经有一些就是得到处理。Okay. So the next question is actually from Rachel, and it's a good question, I think. So are you going to balance different ethnic and geographic locations and service category to ensure all population can get the benefit?
That's a good question. So let her know that based on the legislation that was passed and the regulation, we have to stick to the eligibility criteria, which is listed on the website, which is you have to have realized 50% or greater loss of revenue in March, and then your principal place of business here in Montgomery County, and have 100 of your employees. So that's the criteria we use to determine eligibility, and then from there we will inform the business how much they are, how much they're getting from the county.
Right. So you don't have a quota for each ethnic group or geographic location or economic.
That is correct.
Okay, great. So 刚才的问题就是说非常好的问题，就是说你有没有一个分配的方案，就是说某些族裔或者某些地方某些 zip code 的申请人会得到某些比例的那个款项。那Daniel 的回答是没有的，只要是任何人能呈现出来他们遭受损失，都是一同的考虑。Okay, the next question is how many percentage of application have you approved?
So that is it's a moving target, because as I say, when the reviewers, as they are reviewing it, they are approving it. Some of them are in the follow-up section, so I don't have a specific number, but I know that like those that are in the follow-up section, they will reach out to the businesses to get additional information in order for it to move forward. But I can assure you that we are working as fast as possible to approve as many as possible that are eligible.
对，所以刚才的那个问题就是大概有多少比例的申请会获得批准？那 Daniel 的回答就是说这个很难讲，因为事情一直在发生，然后有些人递进了申请，然后需要补件或者正在审核的过程，所以现在没有一个具体的数字。Okay, the next question is how many employees do you have, or are they working right now? Should I answer? So this question is how many employees do you have or are working now? So what do I answer? Our employees are stopped working since March.
Yeah. So that's a question that's on the application, and that is for informational purposes only, because we want to see how many employees. There's some businesses that have to lay off employees, so we wanted to know before the pandemic how many employees you have, and then because of the pandemic, how many employees you still have. So that's the reason why we're asking that question on the application.
So there will be two questions, before and after, is that right?
No, so it's we are saying, we're asking the question on the application, like how many employees you had on January 31st. That's the one question. And then yes, from there we ask then what's the current number of employees you have? That's another question.
OK， 所以应该有一位就是问的问题就是说，我有一个问题是你有多少个雇员？目前有多少个雇员？那应该是有一个问题是问你1月份的时候有多少个雇员，然后现在有多少雇员，这样他能看到就是有多少的那个你有多少的雇员的这个损失。
And let them know that the reason for that is because we want to see how the impact of the pandemic on the business community, because some businesses have to lay off some of their employees, but some businesses may still have employees that are working.
OK， 所以这个他们要问这个问题的原因就是想衡量一下，知道一下这个新冠对这个雇员的这个影响有多大。Okay, so the next question, does a nonprofit organization has to have employee, or if we only have volunteer, can they apply to?
And the answer to that is yes. Nonprofits, you do not have to have employees for you to apply. What we're looking at is the revenues, so the contributions that are coming into the nonprofit every month. And then we look at the month of March and see how much decline of those contributions. If it's greater than 50% or greater, then that's one of the eligibility criteria.
OK， 所以刚才一个问题就是非牟利机构 nonprofit 如果没有雇员能不能申请？那答案是可以，他们主要要看的是这个收入的这个损失，就是收入的减少。如果你的那个 nonprofit 虽然没有雇员但是前后是能看出来那个收入有影响的，都可以申请。OK， So another question is that I only have 2 jobs to work this year so far, and then I stop now. Can I apply?
Can you repeat that question again?
So the question is, I'm on this job for this year, and so I started a job in this year, and then after 2 months I have to stop. So can I apply? I guess it's independent. It's an independent contractor.
That is correct. So if this person is an independent contractor, what they would need to do is, again, give us the Schedule C on their tax return for 2019, 2018, or 2018, 2017. And then from there, they can give us their bank statement for the month of March.
所以刚才这个问题就是原来就是1月份、2月份有工作，现在没有了，那你还是可以申请你只要需要提供这个19年、18年的 Schedule C 或18年、17年的 Schedule C 然后3月份的这个收入的情况，那他们可以衡量一下你的具体的情况。Okay. The next question: How do you decide what amount for each applicant? For each application?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we look at the 2 years financial history, and we look at the monthly averages, the top line monthly averages, and then we look at the amounts in terms of the revenues for the month of March, and then we determine the decline. So for example, when we look at your 2 years financial history, if the monthly average was $50,000 a month, and then in March of 2020, your revenues declined to only $25,000, then that means you have a 50% decline in revenues, which means you are eligible for $25,000.
OK， 所以刚才这个问题就是说你怎么样决定每个人有多少的那个补助款？那Daniel 讲出来的那个他们的计算方式就是他要看你过去经营的情况，那平均每个月大概收入是多少，然后再比较3月份的这个收入的情况，那他会做一个计算来补足这个损失掉少掉的部分。Okay. So the next question, how do I prove I have lost at least 50% of revenue in the month of March? Is there a specific document I should be providing, as I don't have monthly revenue reports as a small business?
Yes, so you can provide your profit and loss statement for the month of March, or your bank statement for the month of March.
OK， 刚才的问题就是说，我们作为小企业，并没有一个每个月的财务报表。那如果是这样的话，我怎么证明我的收入情况？那 Daniel 的回答就是说，你可以把3月份的那个 profit and loss，营收表，或者是你的银行的这个账单提供给他们，他们会考虑。OK，So the next question, will you consider if the applicant already got some other similar grants from state or federal program?
The answer to that is we are encouraging everyone to apply for other grants, but by you applying for another grant does not disqualify you to apply for Montgomery County's grant.
OK， 所以这个问题跟下面有个问题应该是差不多的问题，就是说，如果我已经从其他的联邦或是州或者是其他的类似的 program 申请到那个纾困金的话，会影响蒙郡这个项目的申请吗？那答案是不会。蒙郡还是希望大家尽量的去申请尽量多的这个补助项目。OK。The next question, as our employees stop working since March, should I say I have 0 employee is working right now, or I should say the same as January?
No,
because they will be back if I reopen the business.
So yes, if you have 0 employees, then you have to state you have 0 employees. But if you have employees that, let's say for example, if you had employees in January and you don't have any employees now, then yes, you have 0 employees.
Okay. So my question would be, if they're not letting go, they just put a pause on the operation.
Yes, so that's a furlough. If you furlough your employees, that means they're not working.
OK， 所以刚才这个问题就是说，我比如说1月份是有雇员，但是现在没有了。但是将来就是我再开放的话，我这些雇员都会再回来的。那这个 furlough 的情况，那他们也是视作你现在是没有雇员，因为也没有在营业。OK， so there's a very specific question. Our owner bought this business around the end of 2018. So the 2018 tax and the okay. let me pull the chat back up.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem. Okay, so the question was that they bought the business in 2018, and it was with the 2018 tax return was with previous owner, previous owner's Schedule C. But for 2019, they begins to file company tax. So what should they upload?
Yeah, so they need to provide the financial history for the business. So if the business was a standalone entity, they could provide the tax returns for 2017 and 2018, even if they were not the owner of the business, because we want to see the business revenues. And then they could just provide the profit and loss statement for the month of March.
OK， 所以刚才的问题就是他们在2018年的时候可能就是换这个经营主，那所以那个之前的报表是之前的这个 owner 的，之前这个业主的，那这个情况怎么办？那他的答案是还是照样把2018你有的报表，即使当时你不是那个 owner 的话，你也可以把历史资料提供给他们，他们要看的是这个企业经营的情况。Okay.
And let me also add that for people who have applied and they may not have sent in any of their financials, or they have information that they want to provide to us, I'm highlighting the email. This is the email address that they can email the information to, and they just need to include their application number.
OK， 所以万一你有具体的问题想要问的话，你可以看到Daniel 现在在 highlight 的这个 email， 也在网址上有的这个 email， 你就可以询问，就是把这个问题发到这个 email 上，把你申请上面的那个申请号码也附上，然后具体的问题他们会跟进。Okay, so we have another question. This person used to get W-2 and now she's on 1099. So I don't have a full question. I guess it's so what kind of should this person also submit the W-2 form and the 1099 for this year?
Well, remember, we're looking for 2 years of business financial history. So if the person was not a 1099 employee for 2 years, but if they have 1 year, they could submit that 1 year, and then they could submit the bank statement for the month of March.
Okay, so I guess the question was that before she was now independent contractor.
Sure.
So as a W-2,
as W-2, she would need to file for unemployment insurance.
Okay.
And yeah, so as an employee, she could file for unemployment insurance. But if she wants to file as an independent contractor, then she needs to provide us work history and financial history for one year and for 2 years. If she doesn't have 2 years, then she needs to provide 1 year and then the month of the bank statement for the month of March.
OK，所以刚才这个问题就是看起来因为不是很全哈，那个问题，那应该是之前是雇员，现在是1099 contractor，那是怎么样file？那 Daniel 的回答是，如果你是有1年的1099的表还有3月份的经营的情况，你都可以试着去申请。那如果是 W2 就是雇员的话，如果现在没有工作了，那应该是去 file 那个失业金。Okay, so the next question is I guess it's all the documents are ready, good to go. How long the application takes?
That's a very good question. So in the front end, we have been told that on an average, people are taking 15 minutes to fill out the application and attach the document and then submit it.
Okay, okay. I think the question is how long do they need to wait after they apply?
Yeah, so that's the part that, as I say, we have many applications that are under review, but we're working on them as soon as possible.
OK， 所以这个问题就是说，那个申请完了要等多久才会有答案？那Daniel 的那个回答是，他们收到很多很多的申请，然后每一个个案都要去衡量，所以他们也是在尽力的尽快给出一个答案。Okay. So the other question is, if we can make it this Saturday to provide all the documentation, can I just open an application and then submit the supporting document later? Is that possible?
So this Saturday, 5 o'clock is the deadline to get all of supporting documents in and to apply. For those who wants to send supporting documents, they can email it to the email address that I'm highlighting. But to answer the question, no, this Saturday is like the final deadline for the application and supporting documents.
OK， 所以这个问题就是说，如果我来不及准备所有的资料，礼拜六5点钟之前准备所有的资料提交，能不能先开一个申请，然后后补那个文件？那答案是不可以。礼拜六的下午5点钟是所有的那个最后的限期。OK， So the next question, if all my workers are individual contractors, how can I provide the payment information since we cannot work now?
So again, if they have all independent contractors, then again that would not, they could still apply, and those independent contractors can also apply for this program.
Okay. Say that again. Sorry.
So if all their employees are 1099 employees, the business can apply, and then also those 1099 employees can also apply for this program.
OK， 所以是分2个部分。如果你的员工都是1099的，那作为企业主，你可以去申请。员工本身来1099的这个员工也是可以去申请这个 emergency fund. Okay, so the next question is, thank you so much. And then where can I get article of incorporation or articles of organization?
Well, that's a good question. Let them know they could go to the state of Maryland. They call it Maryland Business Express. And what we've done is they also need to check if they're in good standing. So I just provided a link right here where they could go to the state website. I'm highlighting that right now, and they could not only check if they're in good standing, but also they can also view their articles there, and they can print it out there as well.
OK， 这个问题就是我去哪里可以找到这个就是注册的资料，以及一个 good standing， 就是证明你的那个状况，企业的状况良好的这个证明。那现在你看到屏幕上 highlight 的这个部分，会告诉你，去哪里去找到这个资料。那应该是马里兰的一个网站，上面就有详细的一步一步的步骤。对。 包括这里就是有一个business quick link， 就循着这个程序去找，可以找得到。Okay. Do I need to provide monthly expenses or annual expenses since the tax return was for the full year?
No, we're not looking for expenses. We're only looking for revenues. So 2 years of historic revenues and then the profit and loss statement for the month of March.
OK， 刚才这个问题就是我需不需要把那个花费，就是消费的证明每个月的证明提交？那答案是不需要，他只要知道你的营运的情况。OK， will the county later publish all grantees' name and the amount they receive, including the first round result?
That's a very good question. And the answer to that is yes. Now, let me be clear. We're not publishing the financial document, but all organizations and all businesses that get money from the county, we will publish the name of the organization and the amount that they receive from the county as a grant.
OK， 刚才这个问题就是说county 会不会公布所有的获得资助的单位的名字和获得的补助金？答案是会的，因为所有的从 county 拿到资金资助的单位都会信息会公布，但是申请人个人的财务情况是不会公布的。OK。We have this question. So we closed the door temporarily on March 20th. So our loss in March does not reach 50% of the general revenue. Do you think we could apply?
That's a good question. Right now, there's conversation happening about about future losses. So we're in April right now, and I don't have any updates on that yet. If people can apply for April, but I'm encouraging everyone to apply if you've incurred a loss, a significant loss in revenue in the month of for the month of March. But they haven't made any decision. The county executive, as soon as we get a guidance around in terms of April losses, then we will make sure we communicate that with everyone.
Okay, so can I go ask a follow-up question? Is that it doesn't have to be 50% of the loss, right? Any loss?
No. Again, the eligibility criteria right now states that it has to be 50% or greater loss of revenue in the month of March.
OK， 所以刚才这个问题是非常好的问题他说他3月20号才暂时关门的，所以他们有20天的营业，损失并没有超过50%。这种情况能不能符合申请？那大概是他们的要求是50%以上的损失。才可以。那刚才 Daniel 也讲过现在这个申请是针对3月份的，他们正在开会，就是讨论4月份的损失的情况。那如果是4月份重新再有资金的话，就是非常鼓励去申请。So far, what's the major problem people get disqualified or denied?
Yeah, the biggest disqualifier right now is the 50% loss in revenue. And so that's why, again, I'm encouraging you, even if it's not at 50%, still apply, because if that criteria is revised downwards, so maybe 25%, you may be eligible to receive funding.
Okay, so 刚才这个问题就是说那什么大概现有的申请哪一些是就是比较大的比例被就是拒绝？那他刚才也在说很多人就是因为没有达到这个50%的这个损失，所以没有被批准。但是Daniel 也在说他们也有可能看到很多人没有符合这个的话，他们会下调这个 资格，就是50%损失的这个资格。So just want to make sure they should put in an application when they have a loss.
That is correct. If you have a loss for the month of March, you can apply. But again, as I say right now, 50% is the amount of loss we're looking at for eligibility. But again, that could also change as well.
Okay. 所以就刚才的信息就是说虽然目前的那个申请资格是50%以上的 loss 会批准，但是并不代表将来他们不会就是看到如果很多人都没有符合这个50%的这个标准，也许他们会调整这个要求。所以如果你是有很就是重大的损失的话，还是鼓励大家去申请。Okay, could county open a program for non-profit organization who has more than 100 employees?
Again, this program we're working on right now is just again the public health emergency grant program because of COVID-19, and that's this is not included in all the other grants that the county usually issue every year. This is a special grant because of the pandemic that we're facing, the situation we're facing right now.
Okay, 所以这个项目就是专门为 COVID-19 新冠遭受损失的企业而设的。那大概是有100个以上的那个 non-profit， 如果它跟 county 有其他的 grant 的话，那个 grant 不会受影响。对，答案是不会。Okay, I think we run through all the questions we have and keep typing because I think our scheduled time, we still have some.
Yes, so with the time we have left, I just wanted to share this folder and then turn it back to, I believe it's Li Fan who wants to talk about this, this wants to talk about this program. So I'm going to turn it back to you guys.
Okay, Li Fan, 请你。
Thank you, Daniel, very much. And thank everybody for attending this webinar. 我用中文来说 ，Let me speak in Chinese. 很多朋友可能都在微信或是其他的管道上知道我们有很多的服务。那现在您看到的这张 slide， 我们是跟盟俊有很好的合作，然后我们也在我们的网站上呢，把盟俊相关信息的连结都放上去，所以欢迎您首先可以到 CCACC 的网站去查询您所要了解的资料。包括有新冠病毒的中文专线，就是如果你身体有状况的话呢，那么我们泛亚医务门诊刚好就是我们今天的翻译陆慧欣主任他所管理的这个部门可以提供一些讯息。此外呢，我们最近就针对纾困如何帮助大家能够申请补助，成立一个专线小组，所以这一些的 information 呢都会在我们的网站上。我们的网站很简单，就是 CCACC- 就中间一个短线dc.org， 那这就是我们网站上的截图现在看到的就是您下面那一行字的话，可以点进去就会有相关的讯息Would you please next? Yeah， 这个画面呢是我们会送给我们的会员，以及如果你加入成为我们 newsletter 的这个收件人的话，我们每个礼拜都会把比较重要的信息放上去。那现在这个画面您看到的有很多，譬如说泛亚医务门诊急事的开门为大家服务，那么也包括我们2020 census 就是2020人口普查的讯息。那么其他的您看到下面也有补助金，甚至在右边有新闻远地，也就是其他的报社媒体常常跟我们的消息，我们希望能广传，让大家都能了解我们做了哪些服务，能够是及时的帮助大家。Next slide, please. OK， 这个就是我们也希望在今天的 webinar 能跟大家分享的。2020 census 一直是我们极力帮助盟俊推广的一个重要环节跟项目，所以在我们的网站上不但有说明，最主要是您看右边有2个 QR code， 你点进去之后呢，可以一步一步的跟着它的说明，然后完成这个问卷。那我知道很多朋友事实上已经做完了，可是呢，盟俊非常积极，每一次都有个更新的报表，报表会告诉我们在哪一个城市，譬如说 Rockville、Bethesda 或是 Germantown、Silver Spring 不同的这个区，他们 统计过后有多少人回复了人口普查的问卷。那我们到目前看来呢，都还有相当的距离，可能只有50%、60%，那有更低的，都还不可能到达80%这么高的预期。到目前为止，所以希望大家持续的关注这个议题，也能够上网的填写，这对我们来讲非常重要。就是我们是华裔在社区，我们将来有什么样的这个权限，或者我们应该有什么样的权利，有我们在社区上的资源，就可能要靠人口普查这个很 strong 非常有力的数据。所以我们在左边有跟大家说明哈，如果4月1号当天，府上有哪些人住在那里，有什么样的 baby 出生哈，有可能有家里真的还有客人来住，都是在那人口普查里面。那相关的讯息您点击看都会说得很清楚。您看到最下面一行字为何要参与，讲得很明白哈，有关于联邦资金的分配，还有道路社区的计划、学校、工厂，跟我们的生活息息相关。如果这个普查你不重视的话，那将来我们的权益都会受损。这也是在我们网站上可以看到的。我们也希望借用这个机会跟大家分享，引起大家多多的留意跟关心。好 ，Please next day。这又回到我们刚才前面，也就是用了蒙郡的这个 banner， 就是他们制作的广告他们譬如说你外出的时候必须注意什么事项，我们就是广为宣传。下面有个蒙郡保健福利部门的官网，也就是我刚才最先提到的，希望能够大家多多常常去看看，然后了解跟自身福利有关的，或者是我们在社区上的广为，因为大家都知道了解了保护自身权益的讯息，都可以在上面找到。Next, please. No more? Okay, good. 那我们提供的信息大概就是这样。
All right, we are just in time. Thank you so much. And so we got the news that the council is discussing next round of grant. Is it correct?
So yeah, there are a series of conversations that are happening at the council. My recommendation will be for folks to follow the sessions that the county council is having, and because they're also they're available through social media, but also through the website, through their website as well. But yes, there are conversations they're having, and until the council appropriates additional funding for different programs, then that's when, as I say, it will, once it's passed and signed by the county executive, that's when those programs will get those funds.
OK， 所以刚才的问题就是说，这个大概不是一次性的一个补助的项目，所以就是 council 郡议会也在加紧开会，不停的在讨论下一轮的这个纾困的计划，所以大家多多留意，可以留意 county 的这个新闻的发布，或者是议会的这些会议的进程，然后也可以留意一下我们美金华人中心纾困小组和信息小组为大家收集的最新的资料。刚才丽芳也有分享，我们的网站会有信息，我们也有那个 newsletter， 还有就是WeChat 有很紧密的那个信息的发布，所以我们有做的这些事情也需要大家跟我们有联系，加上联系，我们才可以把信息发送给您。OK， so 丽芳，我们没有什么特别的问题，就可以结束，是不是
Daniel, would you please allow me to share the screen? I think I still have 3 slides that's on my desktop.
Absolutely. So let me stop sharing, and then you can share.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. It should be on my desktop. What I want to share is the phone number, so it's okay. Okay, this one first.
Okay, if you hit share screen and I can.
I got this one.
There you go.
Yeah, see, everybody see that is in Chinese. OK，这是我们新冠病毒中文信息专线，在我们的网站上也有，也就是如果您发现自己有一些症状，可能是病毒感染，那你也很担心，你就可以到泛亚医务门诊。那这个部分，我想 K 可以做更进一步的说明。
Okay, so we're trying to promote the information line we have in bilingual Chinese and English. So just for people who just feel the need to call someone to talk about COVID-19, either they need the resource, they need some information, or if they have some symptom and they want to talk to a medical provider, then we have a team of volunteer doctors to attend to the line, and then they will get first-hand information. 所以这个新冠专线是专门为大家如果有任何新冠相关的问题包括就是当然就是这个疾病的本身的一些症状，然后哪里去测试，或者是如果我没有医疗保险，我应该去哪里得到医疗的帮助这些问题可以打这个专线去问那其他的问题，甚至是因为新冠的关系，有些老人家住在公寓里面没有饭需要有人去帮忙救助之类的这些问题，我们也可以告诉你信息对，所以我们就是希望就是设立一个一站式的这个信息的这个网络，那让大家可以多了解信息，也不需要过分的焦虑。对，那往后发展我们也知道像中国大陆这边有一些就是抗体的测试或者是进一步的这些服务，我们都在商谈之中，所以希望大家多多用我们的这个资源多了解这个新冠病毒，然后就多了解信息，就不会太着急太焦虑。OK， 谢谢丽芳。
Did you see this one? Can you
Okay.
see the grand progress system slide?
Yes, it's on the screen. 所以这个另外一个是另外一个专线，就是大家参与到的我们这个讲座的，这是我们第2个讲座，就是新冠纾困项目。那我们现在知道关于纾困的项目，各个层次的政府部门比如联邦、州、县政府，甚至是有一些 non-profit， 就是这些 foundation， 它都有提供不同的这个补助的情况。那我们如果平常看 WeChat， 看一些 social media， 各种信息满天飞，到底哪一种资助我会可以真的确实可以就是我可以利用到的，那我们就是希望给大家一些信息。我们之所以有这样一个位置可以做这个事情，是因为我们第一跟盟郡的联系非常紧密，因为作为一个社区社区中心我们跟政府部门之间有很紧密的合作。然后另外一个就是我们希望得到的提供的信息都是已经过证实的信息，而不是大家在社交媒体上互相传，但是真假莫辨的信息。所以第一条那个 COVID 新冠的线是从周1到周7我们都有开放，然后那个关于纾困的这个项目是周1到周5 9点到下午的6点都有人在接听电话。那另外这个也是非常重要的一个专线叫2020的人口普查。那现在这个正在进行之中。那我们知道的就是可能是因为新冠的关系，很多人无暇顾及这个事情，但是这个 census 2020 census 对我们族裔能得到的政府的帮助是息息相关的。只有我们告诉政府我们有多少的华人华裔在这个社区里面，他会按具体的数据来分配不同的资源。所以我们所知道的是目前只有50%多的这个反馈率，就是汇报率。那就是我们亚裔或者是华裔也是历史上都是非常 有这样的习惯，就是不报，或者不知道自己需要报。那需要报就是在4月1号，你只要人在美国这个地方，蒙郡这个地方，你就需要告诉政府，我是其中一员，不在乎你的身份，不在乎你的那个国籍，或者是你的移民的状况，那只要你人是在这里，你就应该报。所以你如果有时候有一点问题，不知道我应不应该填这个人口普查表，我们有一个直线电话301-620-1517，早上9点到下午5点都可以接听您的电话。甚至如果有社区居民不懂英文，不知道那个汇报的程序怎么样的比如说我们知道有一些老人家住在公寓里面一个人的自己没有办法汇报，您都可以打这个电话301-620-1517，我们的工作人员可以手把手的带你走这一个登记的过程。
Thank you, Kay.
No problem. So it looks like we have more questions.
Okay, I think we have about 2 more minutes. So
okay, 2 more minutes.
Yes.
We can fit in 2 more questions.
Sure.
So I'm a 1099 contractor, but I don't have business entity registered at Maryland and no Schedule C tax return, only file in 1040. Can I apply?
So if you're 1099 and you do file 1040, there should be a Schedule C in your personal tax filings. If you're not able to pull the Schedule C out, you can send us your entire personal tax filings for 2 years, and then just send us a bank statement for the month of March. So yes, you can apply.
OK， 那回答就是这个问题，就是我是1099的独立contractor， 但是我没有那个在马州注册，没有一个 Schedule C， 只有1040。那Daniel 的回答是你可以去申请，那尽量就把那个 Schedule C 的那些资料，那个财政的那些资料准备齐全，会鼓励去申请。OK， 那另外 so self-employed it's eligible to file, I think, right?
That is correct. If you're self-employed, if you are a sole proprietor, an independent contractor, yes, you are eligible to apply. Give us 2 years of your personal tax returns, the Schedule C inside of them. Just provide that with your monthly, with the month of March bank statement.
Okay, and then we have this question: is there an extra 2,500 extra fund for local residents?
So the 2,500 extra is for telework. So if you are eligible for the program, and let's say, for example, you want to buy a computer so you can work, from home, or buy a software so you can work from home, anything that has to do with telework, hardware or software, you can also either give us an invoice if you already bought it, or give us a quote if you're looking to buy it when you submit your application.
OK， 这个问题就是关于2500块钱的额外的那个资助。那这个资助是帮助大家就是远程工作的。那如果你是独立工作人的话，独立的这个自雇人员的话，你可以申请这个补助。那你只需要把你已经购买的这个购买这个电脑或者是远程工作的这些工具的这个收据提供给他们，或者是给他们一个 quote， 就是需要的这个，就是说你还没有买，但是你已经了解过是这个价格的这些信息都可以提供给他。Okay, so 这个网址就是 Daniel, can you put up the application website again? The question is, where's the website?
Sure.
So is it the same website to apply
Yes.
the 2,500? Okay.
That's correct. So all applications, it's only one application we have. And so which means when you're applying, this is the website. I just highlighted it. If you go to this website, it's a public website. This is where you'll go and then read all the information we just covered. And then when you come here, once you click apply, it will take you to the form. So this is the live form that you can use to apply, right? And in this application, you just have to, when you get to the point where you're attaching documents, then you can just attach either the invoice or the quote for the telework part of the grant. So if you're eligible for the program and then we see an invoice or quote, then we will also honor that as part of the grants. You can get up to $2,500 for the telework grant.
Okay, so 那个2500块钱的这个远程登录、远程工作的这个资助，也是同一个申请，所以你只要把你的收据在申请的时候递交给他们就可以。So do they need to indicate that they need to apply for the telework equipment?
Yeah, it's part of the application. As they go, they have to check that, but they have to attach the invoice if they've already bought the hardware or software, or attach the quote that they receive, let's say from any website they're going to buy the hardware or software.
Okay. 所以这个不需要另外的申请，因为在申请里面会问到你需不需要这一个，或者是你的资料上传资料的时候可以注明这个 invoice 就是为远程工作购买用具用的。So another question would be, do you have any Chinese material for the application we can share?
Yes, we do. And I want to thank, again, CCACC for helping us in translating the flyer, which that's what I was showing when we were coming in. So I have a flyer here in, I believe this is in Mandarin. And then we also have a flyer in Korean and Vietnamese as well, and then in Spanish, in English, in French, and in Amharic. So this is the flyer if somebody wants to apply in, this is the information that we have.
OK， 所以在这个网站上你会看到有一些中文的那个信息表，那也是 CCACC 帮忙去做的一个翻译，具体所需要的资料都在上面。
And also let people know that, again, we have a list of organizations that have graciously agreed to help us if anyone needs assistance to fill out the application online. And again, if you go to this website, this is the link to those organizations. And if you scroll down, you see that CCACC is one of those organizations as well that's helping us.
Yay, OK， 所以还是有很多盟聚以内的很多机构，很多非牟利机构在愿意帮忙大家申请。就是如果你申请的时候有问题，想要得到一些帮助的话，这上面就有一份文件就列出来所有的机构可以帮忙的。
I think I may have made a mistake. I think the Chamber of Commerce probably is the one that's, yeah, there you go. So the Chamber of Commerce is the one that's also helping us. But CCACC have been helping us with the translation and many, many things.
对，所以亚美商会他们可以提供这个协助。
We just had a webinar that coordinated with Asian American Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, so
Perfect.
It's
Okay,
very good experience. Yeah.
There you go. Very good. Perfect.
因为我们之前不久才跟亚美商会合作，也是举办中小型企业的这个讲座，让大家能够在线上相互的交换意见，并且由小企业局的工作人员来回答，相当好的一个交流。
So lastly, I want to thank again Li Fan, she's been very helpful to me and to all of us, and of course CCACC, who has been a great partner with us. I really want to thank everyone for attending this session today, and I will turn it over back to Li Fan, except if there's any question. If not, I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we thank you, Daniel, very much to give us the opportunity and let us can have more chance to service of community. 非常谢谢蒙俊跟我们的合作，也是我们一份能够尽心意来服务社区的一个机会。那非常谢谢 Kate 陆慧欣，我们泛亚医务门诊的主任。今天我们会长也亲自在前面跟大家讲的话，所以我们是非常欢迎大家能够常常跟我们保持联络，有任何问题我们都会尽力来为大家解决。非常谢谢大家来参与这个会议。不知道会长是不是还在线上，需要讲话吗？
All right, thank you everyone and have a safe weekend.
OK， 谢谢大家，
Bye bye.
注意安全，再见。